Hey everybody, it's Adam Wolf from NWIDA. You may find this looking somewhat familiar. I'm actually in the studio where the Boon of Wireless podcast is in. So as John would say, I'm going to just say a quick hello to Andrew behind the glass. Hey, Andrew. I'm here today to talk to Tom Salvato from, okay, you got to pronounce it for me. How is it pronounced?
Company is called ABMNUS.
ABMNUS. It's that extra N in the middle that just screws me up. But it's ABMNUS. And thanks for joining me, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what ABMNUS is doing. ABMNUS recently joined NWIDA. So thank you guys for joining and supporting the indirect channel. I know you guys support the independent dealer for years. You guys have been around. Tom and I have known each other for way longer than even that. But you know what? I'm going to let you introduce yourself and a little bit about ABMNUS, and then we'll get into it.
My name is Tom Salvato. I am the Chief Business Development Officer for ABMNUS. I have myself, our leadership team, and our field team out there on a business development role, as well as supporting our retail stores in both the exclusive space with Total Wireless and also authorized retail with Verizon value products, meaning Verizon Prepay and Simple Mobile.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, so feel free to disagree with me, but I'm assuming that's why you guys joined NWIDA, was to help support the indirect channel.
Absolutely. I mean, as I said, we've been in business since 2012. We've been supporting authorized retail for a very long time. And obviously, we know that NWIDA has a tremendous amount of contacts out there in the business and all the great things that you and your team do to support the wireless business. It really made a lot of sense for us to partner up with you.
You guys are master agents, like you said, for the Verizon value brands.
Yes.
There are a couple other master agents out there. You're not the only one.
Yep.
So what makes ABMNUS unique?
I'd like to start with the experience that we have. We are one of the first master agents to become exclusive with that old brand called TracFone, right? Which eventually became Verizon Value. And we've lived and experienced every one of those exclusive and AR brands. So, there's a lot of experience that comes from that. And we've really got a lot of backup and a lot of background, not just in the wholesale side, and making sure that your stores have a code and you're set up, but we can really help our retailers, from a retail perspective, and make sure that they're maximizing on their potential.
You mentioned Total, and just, as a point, Verizon Value is also a member of NWIDA. Why is it a good time to become a Total dealer?
I think everybody that's going to listen to this is probably saying, hey, look at all the Total Wireless stores that are popping up in my neighborhoods, right? Total Wireless is a challenger brand. We have a great value proposition for our customers with the best rate plans, the best experience, and the best service, and the best promotions, and also a great value proposition for the retailers that are jumping on board. In terms of how we are supporting you in opening up your stores. There's a tremendous amount of incentives that, we really help you with the build out of your store and all the costs associated with that. I don't think there is a business that you can invest in for, less money and start getting an ROI as quickly as Total Wireless.
So let's dive into that just a little bit more about, how you guys support new Total Wireless and the ones you already have, the current ones. So you talked about supporting the build out. Where else can you guys support either people who want to open a Total store?
Yeah.
And once they've opened that on a continuing basis.
Sure. So, even from that build out process, we're going to help you find the greatest locations for your business, right? We want to make sure that you are in an area, in a retail area, that you have the ability to be successful, right? If needed, we can help you in that leasing process, right? And work with you and your landlords, right? Help you get your store open, get it set up, but it does not stop there. We are in your stores. Wherever you open your locations, we will have our field team out in your stores on a consistent basis, helping you to train your teams, coach your teams, making sure that they're properly set up for success.
what's the biggest challenge that dealers have today that, especially ones that you guys can help out?
I think the easy part of this, if I could even say that it's easy, because it's not, is getting the store open, right? Because that has its challenges, right? Finding the right space, getting that lease done, getting all that construction done, that's challenging enough. But I think the biggest challenge is really what happens after that key is turned, after that red ribbon is cut. What do we do after? And I think in the retail space, a lot of retailers really could use a lot of help making sure that they have the right employees in their stores and making sure that they're trained properly, motivated properly with the right compensation structures that we could help them to design, right? Because it's not just getting that store open and all of a sudden that flood of customers are coming in. We're up against fierce competition, and our teams, our frontline teams in these stores have to be the best at what they do to get those customers shifted to Total Wireless.
You and I were chatting a little bit before the bright lights went on. Give me a success story. I know you were talking about somebody in the Midwest, but
yeah. This is one that I really kind of wanted to emphasize. We're talking about a Midwest market that's a fairly emerging market for us, not a New York City, right, or Boston type area, but an emerging market area where Total Wireless is just brand new. And we started with them with just one location. And we're at 9 stores right now with 3 more coming. And that's really due to the success of Total Wireless as a brand, right? Helping us to bring these customers in with that great value proposition. But the confidence that the ownership of that group has in the Total Wireless brand, as well as ABMNUS and our field team. I feel like that's a great success story. Much of our growth has been coming from existing retailers opening up more stores and also them recommending ABMNUS to their friends and their relatives, right? And we think that that's the most sincere form of flattery.
Absolutely. Yeah. Once you kind of get into it, and like you said, you start with 1, it becomes 3, it becomes 7. This guy in the Midwest is going to be 12 soon.
Yep.
And yeah, for sure. He's obviously talking to other people and they're looking and going, well, wait, you started with 1 and now you have 12. Mm-hmm. How do I do this?
And he would not be putting more money into this if he wasn't getting it back.
Absolutely. What do the dealers need? What's one thing that dealers need to know about Total and about ABMNUS?
Again, like I said before, Total Wireless has the greatest value proposition for customers and for the retailers. Compensation is absolutely tremendous as long as, they're doing things the right way, which we're going to teach them all how to do. Basically, I think the best thing for any retailer to know is just follow the plan and you'll do well.
Yeah. I know a lot of work's been put into that plan. Like I said, Verizon Value is a member of the association. So I talk to those people over at Verizon, a fair amount, see them at all the trade shows, all the industry events. So I know they've put a lot of work into that plan. Before we wrap up, let's talk about Tom a little bit. Let me ask you a fun question. What was your first cell phone?
Oh man, analog.
Yeah.
Motorola something 550 with the flip and the antenna that popped up. And I remember the plan was like $40 or $50 a month for 30 minutes. And if you went over your minutes, they, asked for an arm or a leg and maybe your firstborn, right?
Yeah. Well, I was the guy setting those prices back then. So my first phone was a car phone. It was permanently installed in the car. The one thing I did get, because I was an employee, I didn't have a bill, but I remember the days before bundles when $29.95 got you no minutes and you were paying 55 cents a minute peak and 35 off peak, if you remember peak and off peak rates.
And then the phone was like $2,000, right? Or something like that.
Oh yeah, the phones were crazy. And I remember that 550. I remember when Motorola came into our offices to show us the prototypes. So yeah, it's funny, we both do a lot of shows, all wireless and prepaid and others. And I usually bring a 550 with me. And because people just it stops people. When they walk past the booth, they just stop, and either they remember it or they go, "What the heck is that thing?"
Right.
And you go, that was a phone with the one-line screen.
What would really be funny is if you point to the phone and tell them, yeah, this is a new model that's coming out in a couple of months.
Motorola's bringing it back. I love it. You've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
I've been doing this a long time. What is your favorite part about working in wireless?
Oh, wow. I mean,
besides the insanity.
I don't know if I could live without that insanity at this point in time. But I think one of the most interesting thing about the wireless business is how it doesn't ever seem to get stale, right? We're constantly reinventing ourselves. We're constantly bettering our value propositions and evolving how we do business for the modern times. And I think that folks that are already on board with Total Wireless and everybody that's going to come aboard with Total Wireless in the future with us at ABMNUS,
of course,
is going to really see a lot of evidence of that. This is not a business that's going to just dry up.
Oh, no. We used to say the only constant thing in wireless is change.
Yeah.
And I was at a convention about 3 weeks ago, and they had a little area that they had set up called the Store of the Future, and different things. And it's funny because I then went into a store from my cable company to deal with the cable TV side, and they're already starting to implement some of the things I had seen a week earlier. Mm-hmm. So when they're talking about the Store of the Future, they're not talking about the store of, 2030 and 2035. They're talking about the store of February.
Exactly.
That's the future, folks, February. So the easy part. How do people get more information if they're interested in opening either a Total or the other brands that you guys are messaged for? How do they get in touch with you?
So yeah, what you could do is go on our website, abmnus.com. You could take a look at all of the products and services and the brands that we represent. You can call us at the number that's on that site as well, and you'll be speaking with one of our professionals on our sales or leadership team or myself, and we're really looking forward to having these conversations with you and getting things started.
You can also go to NWIDA.org. There's information about ABMNUS there. We'll have live links in the show notes below, so they can even just click on that, and we'll get you to Tom and his team. And the one thing about Tom is he's like uber responsive. He will get back to you very quickly. I'll tell you that much.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that.